Start with him. How old do you think he is?
Late 20s. I would say early 20s, late 20s.
Really getting it. I'm not asking him my age. You've compared a human body to an ambassador car. Like a car, there is hardware and software.
The headlights can be the eyes, the engine can be the heart, the filtering organs like the kidney and the liver could be the exhaust pipe, the frame can be the musculoskeletal system.
And just like the car, you need regular servicing as well.
Say, very simple things which all of us can do, but हम लोग ये नहीं करते. I imagine it like the Maslow's hierarchy pyramid, wherein the foundational blocks of longevity are in the base. We pop supplements left, right and center. So you can't out-supplement a bad lifestyle. We jump to the middle pyramid. Where foundation ठीक नहीं है, then what is the point of painting the roof?
Something that you've defined as the 40-year-old ICU Club.
I've seen a lot of founders who end up in the 40-year-old ICU Club. I think we have this hustle culture now. It's become fashionable for founders to say, मेरे लिए बस 3 घंटा का sleep is enough. India is among the top 2 nations in the world when it comes to sleep deprivation. We have become very sedentary. The chair has become our graveyard now.
You have also said that inflammation in India today is one of the major causes for cancer.
It is like a silent fire that is inside. Initially you don't realize much, but then eventually the house is going to burn down. I think Indians as a whole, we have a lot of stress. हमारा जो stress है, ये deadlines का और ये promotion का, career का, बच्चों का career का, boss का जो scolding है, ले रहे हैं.
आपके boss होंगे, मेरे boss बहुत अच्छे हैं.
अच्छा ठीक है.
Also he's watching this podcast.
किसी और का boss.
किसी और का boss है.
There is nighttime procrastination where I see all your reels on Instagram.
Guilty?
In the mornings, as soon as you wake up, the first thing you reach for is the charging phone.
Yeah.
And then you look at all the notifications. That is the master and you're the slave.
21 rules that you've listed for long life. What would that be?
The best longevity secrets come for free.
All of this is good to know, but it's very hard to implement. We know what to do. It's just that life gets into the way. Even the knowledge then adds to the stress. That kaise karenge? So give me a hack for that, no?
So let's start.
Hello and welcome to Doctor vs. Internet. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. In today's podcast, we've got something that I've been dying to do for a very long time. आपने अभी तक longevity word बहुत सुना होगा. But जितनी भी इसके बारे में information आती है, research होती है, इसके बारे में बोला जाता है, ये सब एक Western perspective से आता है. So today I have for you the first Indian doctor who's written an entire book on longevity. And by the looks of it, you can tell कि मैंने book cover to cover पढ़ी है, बहुत सारे notes बनाए हैं. And this podcast, I'm giving you a warning beforehand, will be a long one because there is so much to decode. Everything to do from क्या खाना है, क्या exercise करना है, कौन से supplements लेने हैं, क्या नहीं खाना है और retirement के बारे में कैसे सोचना है. इस पूरे perspective के लिए सिर्फ एक podcast है which I'm very excited about. So let me not waste any time and welcome Dr. Navin Ganasekaran. Thank you so much for being here. You've come all the way from Chennai for this podcast. I'm so happy and thrilled.
Thanks very much for having me here and it's lovely to see you, Sonal. Big fan.
Oh, I am a fan, a big fan of your book. And let me start by saying this. Longevity की हम जैसे ही बात करते हैं, in India, reality क्या है? That not everybody wants to be Bryan Johnson. Nobody wants to live forever. If I ask an average Indian, even inside my family, they will say, जिंदगी लंबी नहीं, बड़ी होनी चाहिए, to quote a famous film and a movie dialogue. But basically, Indians को क्या चाहिए? Indians want कि हम जितना लंबा जिए, उतना हम healthy जिए. They don't want to be dependent on kids. They don't want to be dependent on nurses, doctors. They just want a life that ages well. I think that's where the health span versus lifespan debate also comes in, right?
That's true.
So my first question to you then is, what do I need to do in my 30s, 40s, 50s to ensure that I'm aging gracefully?
Acha. Initially, when you said that Indians don't want to live that long, हम चाहे या ना चाहे, ऐसा है कि the past has been that in the 1900s our life expectancy was 35. Then COVID के पहले था 72. उसके बाद एक छोटा सा डिप हुआ. अब तो men live till 68 and women till 72. ऐसा हो सकता है, नहीं, नॉट हो सकता है, होने वाला है कि हम लोग 90s तक, 100s तक जरूर जी पाएंगे. Is that the right Hindi?
Yeah.
Right.
That's fine.
So that is what is going to happen.
So my generation or my dad's generation, who will live till 90?
So your generation will definitely live till 90. Thankfully, you didn't say my generation right now. So what is happening is we are living longer, whether we want it or not. तो बात यह है कि हमें इसके लिए तैयारी करनी है. Prepare ourselves in every which way possible, whereby the number of years that we live has also got to be years that we live with purpose, with curiosity, with happiness, with less of stress, and with the brain intact. What's the point of living till 100 if you can't remember the names of your friends or your family or your children? So how to not just live long, but how to stay strong and productive, that is Healthspan. So how we bridge the gap between the lifespan and healthspan is where longevity lies.
I see. So आपने बोला average मेरी generation, like those born in the 90s, will live for 90. That you're saying that's a given.
That is a given.
अब वो कितने अच्छे से age करते हैं, that will be defined by what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is fascinating. What you're effectively saying is that millennials will be the first generation who live till 90. But is it the first generation? I remember, skip 2 generations before me, my great-grandmother lived till 113 and lived a good life. Like she had a separate kitchen, she would do her own thing. And I keep rolling back to, that's largely the generation that did not see devices.
Right.
जो कपड़े खुद धो रहे थे,
Right.
did not have washing machines or mixer grinders.
Right.
So for them, life was very different.
Right.
Ever since the onset of machines have come, after that, you're saying our generation will be the first one.
So what I essentially want to say is there have been individuals who have bucked the trend. पुराने जमाने में, जैसे कि अभी तो 1000 फिल्म आते हैं. We remember only the super hits. वैसे हमें बस इन लोग याद में हैं जिन लोग 115 तक रहे होंगे और purposeful रहे होंगे, curious and they have lived their life
to the fullest.
To the fullest. Yeah. We remember those stars because they are superstars. And we remember only the superstars. What I'm talking about is averages. How can every one of us be a superstar?
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about.
No, fair point. So let me take you to that part in the book which I loved the most, wherein you've compared a human body to an ambassador car.
Yeah.
You talk about how, like a car, there is hardware and software. Similarly, human body also has that, right?
True.
And just like the car, you need regular servicing as well.
Say.
Right? So, which is why I find this entire car versus human body analogy so great. What got you thinking about it in the first place?
It's easier to look at the human body and think that it fits the car example. Because the headlights can be the eyes, the engine can be the heart, and then the filtering organs like the kidney and the liver could be the exhaust pipe. And all of these get clogged or broken. The chassis or the suspension could be your knees. So the frame can be the musculoskeletal system. So it's easier to imagine the human body as a car and as to how the car we do preventive maintenance every single year. I think it's important for the body to have a preventative health check every single year so that we do a preventative maintenance. And आने के पहले तो सुधर जाएंगे हम लोग, तो fix करना तो easy होगा.
तो कैसे fix करें? What is the parallel for regular servicing of the car? What is the parallel of doing regular servicing of the car to the servicing of the body?
All right. So I would say build more muscle. Muscle is the fountain of youth. And for the mobility, you need to do stretches or yoga because having muscle is one. Having flexibility and mobility is another thing. Get enough sleep. And then you should not feed too much of fuel into the car. You can put aviation fuel into your car. You're an ambassador car. So you have to eat only as much as the ambassador car can take. That is called the capacity load mismatch. जितना कुछ खाना है वो proportion खाना है. Try to avoid processed food and move around. A car, however, you got the best car, you park it in the garage and don't take it for a spin. It's going to go waste. So the body is meant to move. The car is meant to be driven. तो हमें हर मील के बाद 1000 steps लेना है और every single day probably 8000 steps लेना है. तो हम लोग क्या हुए? We have become it's very sedentary. The chair has become our graveyard now. I think we got to get out of the chair as much as possible.
Chair has become the graveyard. Okay, that's the first of the gyans that I'm taking away.
So what we do is, many time when we read longevity books or listen to experts or follow guidelines, ऐसा होता है कि हम फेरारी का मैनुअल निकाल के एम्बेसडर को अप्लाई करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो चलेगा थोड़ी देर तक और फॉर सम डेज इट मे रन बट नॉट ऑप्टिमली एंड वन डे इट विल ब्रेक डाउन क्योंकि एम्बेसडर के लिए एम्बेसडर का मैनुअल चाहिए. So what we say, for example, Indians develop diabetes and hypertension at least 10 or 15 years prior to their Western counterparts. तो उनका मैनुअल रख के हम क्या करें? तो उनका जो प्रिवेंशन के लिए जो टेस्ट दिया हुआ है, उनका जो कट ऑफ्स है, वो सब रख के हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. तो हमारा शरीर अलग सा है, जेनेटिक ब्लूप्रिंट अलग सा है, न्यूट्रिशन अलग सा है, हमारा एक्टिविटी अलग सा है. तो what we need is a manual for the Indian body. Which is what I hope this book has turned out to be.
Okay, let's talk about another very important chapter that you've mentioned. And आपने ये सारी चीज़ें बताई, उसमें डिटेल में भी बात करेंगे. But I want to first talk about inflammation. You've called it the silent fire. And you have also said that inflammation in India today is one of the major causes for cancer. That's a loaded one. Explain that to me.
So inflammation is like having a stove on slow burn for like 20-30 years. So initially you don't realize much, but then eventually the house is going to burn down. So it is like a silent fire that is inside. In fact, inflammation and aging are very connected, which is why the term that researchers have coined now it's called inflammaging. So what happens is Indians pack all the extra calories that they eat into fat, not in the right area. All this entire fat goes in and around the organs, which is Indians have a propensity to pack a lot of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And this is a fountain of inflammatory mediators. It keeps producing things like cytokines or tumor necrosis factor. All of this potent inflammatory cocktail is being secreted by the happy fat that you have around your tummy.
You call it happy fat.
And the second thing that happens is our seed oil mix, the processed food, and the increased seed oils that we have. There was once the industry was talking about seed oils as the panacea for everything. But we now know because of the imbalance it produces between omega-3 and omega-6. That is a potent inflammatory thing as well. Processed foods, lack of sleep, increased visceral fat, and the seed oils, they are wreaking havoc with our body. And this is causing the chronic inflammation that is persisting in the body. This damages the arteries, damages the heart, and it even causes plaques to build up in the brain to cause dementia. So it causes cancer. So inflammation is the root cause of aging. Inflammation is also the root cause of non-communicable diseases. Inflammation is also the root cause of cancer.
But how does inflammation lead to cancer? What's the connection?
So anything that is chronically irritated, like for example, the inflammation causes damage to the DNA. So the DNA is damaged, then when cell division happens, they don't divide properly. So the cancer starts in those cells where the DNA has been primarily damaged. And there is also a process called as autophagy that doesn't work well. The autophagy is the good cells going and eating of the so-called bad cells. That doesn't happen properly if there is inflammation that is persisting for a long time. And then these rogue cells, which are left on their own, they start becoming cancer as well.
Is there a way to cut down inflammation in your body? And is there something that we can do without medicines, perhaps?
So that is the first way, the foundational way. Get enough sleep, maintain a normal body weight, avoid the accumulation of visceral fat. We avoid the accumulation of visceral fat by moving more, building more muscle.
Okay, so first tell me, how do I know that I'm inflamed?
So if you go and take a blood checkup today, we got to look at a couple of things. We look at inflammatory markers in the blood. One is C-reactive protein. There is one other thing called as HSCRP, which is highly sensitive C-reactive protein. And then there is ESR, and then homocysteine. So these are all your surrogate markers of inflammation. So we do have A, B, C, D, which are components in your blood workup, which your doctor can suggest to you during a preventative health check, which will indicate very clearly whether you have inflammation. Second thing, which is not a part of most of the health checks now, but which should be a part, is fasting insulin.
Okay.
Because if we have that test, then we know, are we insulin resistant? Right now we go, how do we
You're saying
go?
automatically, if you are insulin
Yes.
resistant, you will be inflamed.
Yes, that is what I'm getting at.
Ah.
So if you look at the entire NCD spectrum, it is caused by two things, visceral fat, insulin resistance. So how we avoid the both is by building muscle, sleeping well, moving more.
Okay, so now I've taken the test. I've figured out that I am inflamed. What do I do?
Then we got to check out your BMI. More than a BMI, waist circumference is a better indicator for your... for Indians, the cutoff is smaller. So it's not 90, it's 85 for men. And 80.
Waist to hip circumference.
Yes.
Yeah, ratio.
So we look at that. And then, if possible, we take a gold standard test, which is DEXA, which is your the same machine that measures your bone density. Also measures your fat percentage in all the parts of the body. It will give an accurate estimation.
But the smart scale also tells you that you don't rely on it.
Smart scale is not very accurate. It's not medical grade. So medical grade is still, but smart scale is good enough along with your waist circumference and most of the people.
Yeah, but DEXA scan will cost how much if somebody wants to get it done?
Say about 8 to 10,000.
Which is why.
Which is slightly expensive.
Yeah.
So if you have an 8 electrode smart scale, which is good enough. So more the electrodes, the better the accuracy of that. Here again, don't look at a single reading. Look at trends. Is your waist circumference increasing slowly? Is your visceral fat percentage as given by your weight machine increasing slowly? So look at trends rather than a single data point. Once we got the inflammatory markers done, once you know that you have visceral fat, and once your fasting insulin says that you're insulin resistant, we got to find ways to reverse this. The ways to reverse this is like I told you, get enough sleep, 8 hours of sleep a day, and then start moving more, and then build muscle. So muscles are the fountain of youth. When you build muscle, your metabolism...
You're not going to tell me any kadha. You're not going to tell me have haldi with black pepper and some ghee. You'll not say any of that. You're going back to the boring stuff. What is this? Kuch to dijiye.
So I would say, if you want to reduce your visceral fat, intermittent fasting works very well.
Okay.
So 15 hours or 16 hours of fast, because that is what is called as metabolic flexibility. Imagine you have a hybrid car that has a fuel tank that also has a gas tank. So when fuel goes down, you can flip the switch and run on CNG, right? Our body is also like that. It can run on carbs, it can also run on fat. हमें क्या हुआ है? We have always used carbs for the running of the body. We've forgotten how to use the fat.
Yeah.
So वो switch, we have it inside, but we've forgotten how to flip it. This is called metabolic flexibility. Where
The switch is this one. Shut it. Shut the damn thing.
So there is a way where you can teach your body to burn the fat for energy. That is by doing intermittent fasting. Where you stop eating at, say, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and then start eating at, I stop at 7 in the night and I have it at 11 in the morning. So it's a 15-hour fast is when the body is starving and you're not giving it enough glucose, which means it has to burn the fat for fuel.
Yeah.
So you're teaching the body,
so all those celebrity inflammation, anti-inflammation cubes, etc. that they make, they're all bunkum then.
Totally.
Okay. Let me go back to the seed oil conversation that you had. What are you telling me then are the oils to completely avoid and the ones that should replace them?
Okay. I wouldn't say avoid sunflower oil or seed oils. If you're eating sunflower oil or seed oil, to balance that out, take fish oil supplements. Take omega-3. But if you are not going to take those supplements and you want to completely change your oil, change to something like filtered, not refined, filtered groundnut oil or filtered mustard oil.
Is filtered the same as cold pressed?
Cold press is a different kind of filtered, but it's not the same. So filtered is just unrefined.
So how do I get to know if oil is filtered or no?
The filtered oils would have a murkiness to them.
Okay.
And the refined oils are all pristine, like very clear.
Yeah. So filtered oil would be slightly opaque-ish.
Yes, that is what I mean.
Okay. So a cold-pressed coconut oil?
Cold press is still good.
Is slightly like that. It's not as crystal clear, right?
Yes.
So
cold pressing is a process in which they extract these oils. But after that, but most cold pressed oils are filtered. But not all filtered oils are cold pressed.
I see. So we all know that Indians do this wrong. अब आपने उनको बता दिया कि भाई extra virgin olive oil अच्छा है तो वो तड़का लगा रहे होंगे extra virgin olive oil में. That's not to be done, right? For that you have things like coconut oil.
Yes.
For that you have things like
Yes.
mustard oil, which have
Yes.
high heat point, right?
Yes.
We've done an entire series actually on
Absolutely.
oil.
Yes.
So I want you to give me 5 switches that are easy to adapt in an Indian kitchen for oils.
Okay. So if possible, throw out the seed oils and get in mustard oil or groundnut oil. And for the tadkas, you can use coconut oil. And then, but most important part is don't have too much of oil. Whichever oil, if you have it more than 3 spoons per day, is not good because it's a calorie dense stuff. It's going to make you fatter.
Yeah.
So that is one thing about the oil. So get the right oils in. If you are unable to change the sunflower oil for some reason, supplement with omega-3. So that will reduce the inflammation, cool you down. Because it restores the balance between the omega-3
Yeah,
and
but
the
the thing in
omega-6.
India is you don't get a good omega-3. You know, we did like this entire reel on omega-3 and we understood that when we also visited the pharmacy, they were all the supplements there, not medical grade.
Right.
Those which came from good brands were not third-party tested.
Right.
Did not, have all the complete omega-3s that are required, right? The EPA and the rest of them.
Right.
So how do you get to the right omega-3?
We should look at omega-3s that have a higher EPA to DHA ratio. You should also look at ones that are re-esterified triglycerides, RTG, rather than an ethyl ester form, because that reduces the burpiness. You should go with some good brands which are importing from certified foreign countries and then repackaging it, wherein it also works out cheaper. From an Indian perspective, we always look at value. We can't be all of us having Nordic Naturals or Nordic Ultimate every single day. There are lovely Indian brands available which import from these foreign manufacturers who have the certifications and they repackage it. And also look at the ones wherein one capsule will give you a very high load. Many of these omega-3s, what they have listed is that 2 capsules or 3 capsules, what EPA and DHA they give, they would have listed it. It makes no sense because
nobody's having that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Indians would probably buy 60 capsules and have pop 1 a day.
Yeah.
I think we should look at those things.
Okay. Let's move on now from inflammation to something that you've defined as the 40-year-old ICU Club. Now, totally relate to it. My husband is in his 40s. Every weekend when he meets his friends, it could be over a game of badminton or pickle or squash or whatever. And the only active conversation that they're all having, these 40-year-old men, is that how do I avoid a heart attack? Right? They're all wearing their Apple Watches or any kind of other tracker to ensure that it takes, it sort of stays in shape or stays in place. But how does one not become part of this 40-year-old ICU Club? So what's the key thing?
Right. I've seen a lot of founders who end up in the 40-year-old ICU Club or people who actually, I think we have this hustle culture now. It's become fashionable for founders to say that I've biohacked myself. मुझे पता है मेरे लिए बस 3 घंटा का sleep is enough. Or 3.5. Some people are so precise that say, 3 hours, 45 minutes is exactly how much of sleep my body needs.
Who are these people?
So these are the ones who end up in the ICU. I think the number one reason that, like you asked, is sleep. People are sleeping less. India is among the top 2 nations in the world when it comes to sleep deprivation. I think the first is Japan. So what has happened is we as a nation... Absolutely. Check that out.
Japan, where people live really long.
They have better genetics than us.
Yeah.
So what has happened is that we have skipped on sleep. The sleep is a complete reboot protocol that happens to your system every single night. It keeps it cleans out your brain and it sort of sets the cleaning in action for the entire body. If you get 3 hours or 4 hours of sleep, or you go to sleep late and wake up early, you miss out on key elements in the sleep. And that causes insulin resistance, cortisol, and
you say key elements.
Yes.
What are the key elements in a sleep?
So, sleep is composed of deep sleep, REM sleep, and light sleep. For the layman, this is good enough, right? So, most of the deep sleep comes in the first few hours of going to bed. So what we got to do is, if we have a very heavy meal at say 9 o'clock and then go to bed at 9:30, then your deep sleep is going to be delayed. 1 बजे के बाद नहीं आने वाला है. तो आपको deep sleep चाहिए तो आपको खाना बंद करना है before 3 hours of your bedtime. So
you're saying you'll fall asleep, but you will not get the quality of sleep.
Exactly. So the deep sleep primarily falls in the first few hours after going to bed. And the REM sleep falls into the first few hours of the early morning. So you have to make sure that when you are in bed, your body, your tummy is free of the digestion process. Because digestion is also a very thermic process. अब जब खाते हो पसीना आता है, that's because it's a very thermic process. So before, if you stop your food 3 hours prior to that, your body's got enough time to digest it off, which means the body does not have any other priorities other than sleep during that time, and you get enough deep sleep. Second thing that you have to avoid is caffeine. When you have coffee, what time is it now? More than 3 o'clock, more than 3 p.m., preferably 1 p.m., it messes with your deep sleep. Because coffee has a half-life of close to 8 hours. So which means if you drink 1 cup of coffee, it's like equivalent to drinking half a cup of coffee right before going to bed. अभी तो 1 cup पियोगे तो it is equal to you drinking half a cup.
You are not getting sleep tonight. It's 1:30. It's not happening.
So caffeine. Stop caffeine at least 7 to 8 hours prior to bed.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And avoid food. The third thing is any strenuous activity. Like people have a fashion of going and playing badminton late and 10. Your husband does that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That messes with your deep sleep.
Yeah.
So to get deep sleep, alcohol also messes with your deep sleep. So deep sleep, we have to understand it happens in the first few hours after going to bed. At that time, you need a nice cool room, tummy free of food, no caffeine in the system, and you get beautiful deep sleep. REM sleep comes only in the morning. So for us to get enough REM sleep, what we got to do is, we can't go to bed at 11, keep alarm at 4 o'clock and wake up. There are some 40-year ICU friends who talk about the God zone. तो क्या करते हैं 1:30 a.m. they wake up and then they tinker about with their computers till 3:30. They say that is when God gives them amazing ideas. And I'm like, crazy. Who said that, right? So,
dude, I have written scripts like that.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was damaging you.
No, but there's something about the brain that something happens. Like I've woken up in the middle of the night and said, oh my God, that's the line that I want to say. Or, oh my God, that's the idea. That's the next podcast. It's happened so many times.
So let me tell you why that happens.
Why?
REM sleep is when your brain interconnects a lot of thoughts and comes up with new solutions. You must have gotten REM sleep and immediately woken up. Had you left it for a few more hours, you would have gotten even more beautiful thoughts. It's 5 a.m. is what I'm saying.
Oh.
So REM sleep has got this.
But I'm not making an effort to get up. I automatically woke up.
I understand. So what we got to do is, we got to avoid that. One way of doing that is to make sure we go to bed and wake up at the same time. And early morning, if we are able to expose ourselves to sunlight, just have a walk on your terrace, even a few minutes of sun in the morning as soon as you wake up. That sets your circadian rhythm right. And evening, avoid blue light. Make your room
basically
warm.
Avoid your phone.
Exactly. So I always charge my phone outside in the living room. I try to keep the phone, the laptop away from the bedroom.
Because if you second guest on the podcast in 1 week I've done who's not keeping their phone in the bedroom. I think that's the new one.
Yeah, because when it is there, the first thing that you do is that there is nighttime procrastination where I see all your reels on Instagram.
Guilty? I mean, I'm not asking you to watch it.
I know,
all you people don't do it at night.
But it's so addictive, yes. Like when somebody is talking, it's interesting. We keep watching, which I could do that at some other time. But I think that is the leisure time for me to see.
Yeah.
The second thing is, in the mornings, as soon as you wake up, the first thing you reach for is the charging phone.
Yeah.
And then you look at all the notifications. So I would tell you the actual God hour is the morning hour as soon as you wake up, wherein you don't need the phone dictating to you, aapko kya karna hai. Yes. So it's like that is the master and you're the slave. So when you uthte ho, you scroll, then there's a couple of notifications that says there's a podcast with Dr. Navin at whatever, and then you become a slave of that.
I'll tell you, Doc, all of this is good to know, but it's very hard to implement. I have a 3-year-old at home. Okay, she wakes up at least 2 to 3 times at night. In the morning, I don't have an alarm clock. She wakes me up because her circadian rhythm is like really spot on, right?
Correct.
Like she will wake up at 5:30 dot, no matter what time she's sleeping.
Correct.
Right? I mean, if she's unwell, it's a different story, but 5:30 is like on the ball, right? Now, I really find it hard to implement this. And I think that's where a lot of Indians are getting stuck. We know what to do. It's just that life gets into the way. I just don't know how to do this. Right? So and the same thing, you have a kid at home, you have responsibilities. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't help. Even the knowledge then adds to the stress. That kaise karenge? So give me a hack for that, no?
I would say start with small things. Jaise ki, you can't change the fact that your kid is 3-year-old or wakes you up in the night. So forget about that. But what is in your control? You can charge your phone outside. Try it for 2 days. The third day it becomes a habit. The fourth day, if the phone were inside, you would feel it to be a problem. So small things, if done consistently, and then one built on top of the other, which we call as habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
Stacking bolte hain. So it's like one good habit for this week. For the second week, add on one more habit. Third week, add on the third habit. Whilst you continue to do the 1, 2, and 3. And we can start very small, little things. What is beyond your control, don't fret over it. ज़्यादा मत सोचना उसके बारे में. But what is in our control, at least let us change that. Let us not take this as a big burden. तो हमें सुधर जाना है. In one day, you want to become a completely new individual. It doesn't
कोई और hack है apart from the phone?
Do you have yellow lights in your room?
Yes.
Okay, yellow lights in your room. Can you dim the lights?
Yes, I can switch them off, switch on the lamp, which is...
So if you can switch to a dimmer light, say 1 to 1.5 hours prior to your sleep, that helps. And a cold room helps. So what is your AC temperature?
24.
24. You can probably bring it down to 22. That helps with the deep sleep. And a warm shower helps sometimes prior to the sleep. I'll tell you why. That might, when I talked about the thermic process of digestion, I said a lot of heat inside, which is why you can. Warm shower is a contradiction because warm shower, what happens is it dilates all the capillaries, which means there's a lot of blood flowing to your outer skin as soon as you take a warm shower. Now imagine this nice blood flowing to the entire body, and then you go into a 21 degree Celsius room. So the cooling of the body happens faster.
Okay.
Which is why a warm shower helps.
Okay.
But the digestion process, it's inside heat, which is going to stay on for a long time.
Right. That I can't control, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I like how you have not mentioned magnesium. You have not mentioned melatonin.
Absolutely.
You've not said put on a sleep tracker. You're saying none of that.
None of that. So I'm more about the foundational habits. Like we got to get the base of the building, the foundation right. ऊपर का roof कैसा है, उसका color paint कर रहे हैं हम लोग. नीचे तो foundation तो it's shaking. So I think we got to build a nice foundation and go step by step. Before we worry about biohacking, I think we got to get the foundation right.
Okay. Talking about sleep, I have to bring in the next one. This is about stress management. And we'll talk about, in the end of the book, you speak about some 21 rules for a long life. And one of the key things there is stress management. And you've beautifully described something called the synthesis of happiness. Please explain to me how to get into that nirvana zone and get this synthesis of happiness going for me.
So I think Indians as a whole, we have a lot of stress. Why it is different from our ancestors is ancestors had acute stress. उनका तो एक crop failure होगा, उनका तो एक बच्चा तो किसी एक infectious disease से मर जाएगा. That was an acute stress. हमारा जो stress है, ये deadlines का और ये promotion का, career का, बच्चों का career का और traffic का,
air pollution का, मतलब मेरी list बहुत लंबी है. Yeah.
So these are chronic stressors for us. That is what I meant when I said that a chronic stress is like you putting your car in first gear. And in that same first gear, driving from Delhi to Chandigarh. So the car is going to break down at the end of it. Acute stress is like just climbing a small incline with the first gear or second gear. So chronic stress, which we call in medical parlance as allostatic load, वो क्या करता है? The amygdala signals to the body. Amygdala is a part of the brain that signals to the body. अच्छा, इसको तो fight करना है या fly करना है. So you have to either fight or flight. तो इसके लिए क्या चाहिए? Body को energy चाहिए. So this amygdala signals to the body to release cortisol and adrenaline, which flood your body with sugar. Because the body thinks you need sugar to either fight और फ्लाई. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? फाइट भी नहीं करते, फ्लाई भी नहीं करते, बैठ के बॉस का जो ये है स्कोल्डिंग है ले रहे हैं. सो इट्स लाइक
आपके बॉस होंगे, मेरे बॉस बहुत अच्छे हैं.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
ऑल्सो ही इज वाचिंग दिस पॉडकास्ट.
ओह फैंटास्टिक. ओके, किसी और का बॉस. सो ऐसा होता है कि we can't run, and or whatever, all of this glucose that has come into the bloodstream, it is going to spike your insulin levels. क्योंकि sugar ज़्यादा है, you're not using it to fight or fly. So there's increased sugar in the body because of these stress hormones, spikes up the insulin levels. और जब insulin spike होता है, वो then it becomes an insulin resistance kind of a thing, where you get fatty liver, where insulin resistance is the cause for all the non-communicable diseases that we have today, like cholesterol, BP, hypertension, and diabetes, cancer. Most of it is just one root cause, that is insulin resistance.
Wow.
And chronic stress brings about this insulin resistance every single day because it shoots up the sugars.
Okay, so I have known this, and we've done this entire podcast talking about insulin resistance, but I knew it happened with your diet. It happened with food. This is for the first time you're telling me the relationship between stress and insulin resistance.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So too much of stress causes too much of sugar spikes. Too much of sugar spikes cause too much of insulin spikes. Too much of insulin spikes cause insulin resistance. The cells start thinking, अरे क्या है, हम इसको काम ही नहीं है. Every time insulin spikes, why should I listen to him? And the cells become resistant to insulin. That is what happens in this vicious cycle, what we call, wherein the sugar spike often because of the insulin spikes often. Because the insulin spikes often, the cells in the body turn a deaf ear to insulin. So sunte nahi hai. It doesn't listen to the insulin.
Yeah.
And this is insulin
they basically
resistant.
give up.
Exactly.
I get that, but again, I keep bringing back the conversation into everyday life application. And okay, so you see a regular life of let me say, a normal person who lives in the metros. Okay, tier 1, tier 2 cities. Okay, let's look at life of any individual in their 30s or 40s living in the metros, or maybe living in tier 1, tier 2 as well, right? They will want to ensure that they are staying fit.
Okay.
They will want to stay healthy. They will make the right choices.
Right.
But stress is something that is beyond you.
Right.
We live in a world where we cannot wish away stress. There is stress about आज maid आएगी कि नहीं. There is stress about आज cab मिलेगी कि नहीं. There is stress about आज pollution levels क्या होने वाले हैं. What will be the traffic like today. Right? So you can't wish away that. And I keep saying this in our team, in the Healthspan team, we have these very active discussions. And I often say that we are the kind of people who actually love our job. So 80% we are better off than the rest of the crowd. But despite that, there is stress. So how does this synthesis of happiness really happen? And how do I apply it in my life?
So you're right when you say that stress is a bottom line. Everybody has stress.
Yeah.
So we got to make a very concerted effort to manage stress. So we can do it in multiple ways. First thing is the mindset. When you talk about synthesis of happiness, yes, there was a Harvard study by Dan Gilbert that found that people could actually synthesize happiness. It compared two cohorts, people who won $1 million in a lottery and people who lost the function of their limbs in accidents. Initially, the lottery owners had really, a lot of joy. At the end of 1 year, the happiness levels of both of them were pretty much the same. So it goes on to say, happiness is in your mind. So irrespective of whether you win a lottery or you lose both legs, the happiness levels of both of these cohorts can still be the same if you choose so. So how do we do that in our day-to-day lives, right? So we have something called as comparative misery, which is a common phenomenon for Indians. This Sharmaji's son syndrome, wherein we compare ourselves with everything else. It could be a peer in the office who gets a better promotion or a better a story, or it could be our child as compared to the next door child, or the education system, IB hota hai ki CBSE hota hai, kya hota hai. So which is what is he going to be tomorrow? That kind of a stress. The other thing is the food stress, family stress, and then the caregiver stress for women particularly. Women face a little bit of extra stress because of caregivers. Women are beautiful caregivers, whether they want it or not. They assume the caregiver responsibility of everybody in the household. For all the feminism that's going on, I think it's inherent in women that they are beautiful caregivers, and that
I
sometimes
like the line, whether they like it or not.
Yes, and it becomes a huge stress on them over a period of time. I think we should stop comparisons. We should become what is called as satisficers, in that not try to aim for things that are beyond our reach, or continuously aspire for things beyond our reach, or things that we did not get. Rather, start liking things that we have. और जो चीज हमें मिला है उसको पसंद करने को सीख लेना है हमें. Is that right, Hindi?
Yeah, it is the right.
All right. So it could be
So
a
appreciate
wife.
what you have.
Yes.
Not sort of,
Yes.
stress over what you don't.
Yes. It could be a wife, it could be a husband, it could be a career, it could be a job, it could be the book. Whatever you have is yours. Just enjoy it and stay happy with that. I think we should be happy with the things that we achieve, rather than constantly looking at horizons. I have sometimes this way of putting it. We are all climbing a ladder where the rungs don't end at all. The problem is because we are the ones who are taking the bottom rungs and putting it on top. तो हमें जाना ही पड़ेगा till time immemorial. कभी ना कभी तो रुक जाना है और सोचना है कि इतना दूर तो हम लोग आए हैं, इतना ऊंचा तो आ चुके हैं.
So simple. So simple.
So that is one way of looking at it. Second way of managing stress is get good sleep again. A lot of good sleep gives you the armor to face the next day's battle. It's like 8 hours of sleep is actually making you look like a Roman god with all the shields, and then you come to work and then nothing can hit you.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I want that. I'm just not getting it. I don't know when the time will come when I'll actually achieve it. But you seem like a guy who's pretty happy in their own thing. What's your happiness routine?
So
is there one?
Yeah. I have a lot of happiness routines actually.
Like?
I play racket sports. So racket sports is a beautiful way to connect with friends. And then, like your husband,
we should do a game.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. So tennis is proven to add about 9.6 years to life. Badminton about 6.8. Basically, why racket sports are much better than running or high rocks or any of those things is because you have two kinds of cardio happening when you. It's like a HIIT in a more enjoyable form, wherein you have this banter, you have this teasing, and then you have this challenge matches, and then at least in the part of India where I come from, the losing team has to buy everybody else a lovely South Indian breakfast.
Okay.
So there's a community that's going on.
I like it's breakfast. You guys are not doing it in the evening.
No, not in the evening.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful community that's going on there. And community is very important for your mental health as well. As we grow older, we need to have a lot more friends. And we need to have a community going because it preserves our cognition. So which is why my joy is, my way of stress relief is...
How many times a week do you end up playing?
3 times easily. One day is badminton, a couple of days is pickleball. That's come up pretty big in the south as well. So
yeah.
I don't know how it's in Delhi.
It can't be just racket sport. It has to be more than that.
Well, I do get a good night's sleep most of the time. I consciously make sure that I get good, and I'm happy doing things that I'm doing. I don't try to put obstacles or try to achieve too many things. Whatever happens, it's a very creative process. It happens, and I'm eternally curious. हर एक चीज के बारे में अगर मुझे जानना है तो मैं उसके अंदर it's like a how do I put this? It's a flow state meditation where you do something where you get lost in that. That's pure bliss.
Yeah, I call it walking meditation.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
what is that?
So when I'm cooking, it's that because I'm forced to not think about anything else, right? So because you've got to get the proportions right, you can't mess with other things.
Right.
Also because I do that very rarely, I want to get it right. So you're really in it to ensure that it comes out.
So for me, that happens in my wildlife photography. Every 2-3 months, I go off to one of these jungles. And
so having a hobby, that's the one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
outside of work.
And nature helps. I think I see Delhi. If I took the AQI out of my mind, I see such a green place.
Yeah.
Only the AQI is the problem, right?
And traffic.
And traffic, yes.
Yeah.
So if we have any nice green parks where you can get a run, even once a week, the nature bathing, as the Japanese call it, does a lot to your stress levels. It brings it down.
Yeah.
And spirituality, mindfulness, meditation. If you're a temple goer, go. I always had this fear, right? Because I'm sort of an atheist.
Sort of atheist kya hota hai? What does that mean?
So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if there is a God, right? So I always had this big FOMO that, okay, spiritual people and religious people, they are so stress-free because temples are these great places for spirituality. But I believe people can find spirituality in things like simple things like meditation or nature or whatever it is that you that is your thing, like cooking, for example. Spirituality is to be found in every activity that completely pulls you in and keeps you there.
Yeah. Spirituality is a longevity hack? Can
Absolutely.
we say that?
Absolutely.
That's a chapter out there in your book. That's what we've discovered on the podcast.
No, there is evidence. I've actually put it. Meditation. There are the studies were done on monks. And showed significantly difference in the way that their bodies were aging, in the way that their cognition was intact. Which is meditation and spirituality do make a difference. And which is why I say, if you're religious, find your spirituality in religion. If you're a-religious or atheist or still trying to figure out,
or confused,
then find it in something else that pulls you in and keeps you there and makes you. Awe is another thing. Like every time you imagine the universe and you think, "Achha, itna chota speck hai hum log, and itna bada dunya hai, itni badi universe hai." Then whatever you do doesn't have to sit like a pile of logs on your head. You think, "Achha, jo kuch main karna hai, main kar sakta hu, wo karunga." The life is infinite. That kind
this
of
podcast is turning into therapy. But I like that. And this is such a difference from what people think about longevity, right? The minute you talk about longevity, people think about Bryan Johnson. Right? He's popping like 120 pills a day.
Right.
Now has a very serious disease, perhaps because of those pills as well. But what are your thoughts on him?
So I would say Bryan Johnson is a great businessman. I would say what works for millennials doesn't have to work for the normal public. If you look at the NCD burden in India, right? 68% of all deaths in India today are caused by non-communicable diseases. So we have such a huge problem. Not all of us can become Bryan Johnson. And I don't think he's doing it right as well. I think I imagine it like the Maslow's hierarchy pyramid, wherein the foundational blocks of longevity are in the base. So the basics, boring basics would be sleep, stress management, balanced nutrition, movement, muscle building, and so on. Very simple things which all of us can do. But hum log ye nahi karte. We jump to the middle pyramid, which is melatonin khao, magnesium khao. And then we pop supplements left, right, and center. So you can't out supplement a bad lifestyle. Agar foundation theek nahi hai, then what is the point of painting the roof? And the apex of the pyramid is further worse. It's about peptides, it's about ice baths, it's about red light therapy, it's about mTOR inhibitors, it's about rapamycin, it's about blue zone. Not everybody in India can fly to a blue zone, eat the diet of a Sardinian shepherd. Nahi ho sakta. Hame kya karna hai? We have roti and dal in front of us. How can we eat it better? How can we balance it with dahi or some other protein source? How can we put away our work and get 8 hours of sleep? None of it is mehenga. None of it, as Indians, we are very value conscious people. I'm telling you, the best longevity secrets come for free.
But are the hardest to do?
Yes.
Simplest to know and hardest to implement.
That is true. That is true.
Because there is no pill for that.
That is true.
Yeah, and as Indians, we want a pill for everything. Once somebody told me that they didn't like a doctor because usse dawai nahi dete hain. I was like, I would want that doctor.
I usually tell people, work on the foundations first before we start aiming at the middle and the top tiers.
But there are few doctors like that, I must say. It's a very, very small group. Okay, let's move from this one to another aspect that you have spoken about, which is biohacking. Right? Bryan Johnson claims that he has biohacked his way into looking at least 10, if not 15 years younger. And it shows on his face. If you put his and his son's picture together, you can't tell who's the dad, right? And he's used blood transfusion, stem cell, God knows everything out of the planet is what he's done. Could you explain to us essentially what is biohacking? Like longevity, have we also misunderstood biohacking?
So biohacking is the human mind tinkering with the human body with a lot of experimental, mostly experimental, few proven things.
Okay.
So Bryan Johnson is tinkering with his own body with a lot of experimental things that are shown to work very well in mice, but are still not proven yet to work great in humans. But there are some biohacks which all of us can apply, which works well beyond mice, even on humans. Like, for example, the trackers that we wear. You have a smartwatch, I have a ring. It gives you some basic insights about your health, right? And then even that, I tell people, don't get obsessively obsessed about the huge amount of data that your tracker is outputting every single hour. Look at trends. Like, for example, I probably check the app interface once or twice a week.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
So I think what we should do is not check on every single activity.
Like, I check my steps and my
that is okay.
calorie, etc. every day.
That is okay.
Yeah.
But like, if you're going to food blog every single meal, or if you're going to look at how your heart rate variability changed with every game, or what is the maximum heart rate you achieved, or the VO2 max that is coming out of it, we are actually getting obsessed over data that is a completely different kind of stress. I would say, let the data accumulate. Let it form a trend. Look at those trends at least once a week. Say you can look at a trend once a week and then see, acha, theek hai, is hafta my deep sleep was low. I need to try to prioritize my sleep more in the next week. Or I took lesser number of steps overall this week. Let me make it a priority to walk after every meal for this week. Conscious decisions, chote decisions which you can make with the trends rather than checking the trackers every single day. One other hack that we talk about is the CGMs, or the continuous glucose monitor.
Yeah, I was just going to say, CGM, the whole idea is to constantly glucose monitor your body. Right? It doesn't work.
So we have a lot of influencers who strap on CGMs and say, acha, this papaya spiked my sugar to this much. This banana spiked my father's insulin, sugar to this much. CGMs are a great way for your diabetologist to understand your profile and how you respond to diabetic drugs probably once. For the average man, it may still work once for you to understand your patterns and what is causing these spikes. But for people to actually religiously note down every single foodstuff and how much it has spiked their sugar is crazy, because that is what your pancreas is for. So you cannot outguess your own body.
Yeah, but my issue is a lot of people have been writing to us saying that their CGM monitors and their blood test, they don't match.
They don't, because most of them are not device grade. So the sensors and the...
What is not device grade? CGMs?
Yeah, some CGMs are not device grade. I mean, they wouldn't be the ones that are graded enough to be used in a clinical setting. So unka accuracy to alag sa hota hai. So even that is the same for trackers as well. The sleep tracking or the activity tracking.
And that's dangerous.
And the VO2 max
because
tracking.
Every time your CGM is giving you a reading, which is like extremely low, you are eating sugar.
Absolutely.
Then you're calling up your doctor to say this is happening. The doctor is changing your medication. But actually the tracker is not up to the mark.
There's absolutely too much of data and people are obsessing over this data. I would say let your doctor decide whether you need a CGM. This is not an intervention where you get out of a company, wear it on as a badge of honor and wear sleeveless to office so that everybody can see them. That happens in a lot of Bangalore. I've seen a couple of my patients do that, right? Similar to how Hyrox has also become a fashion with the people, right?
You don't endorse both.
I would say I endorse it selectively. So if you are getting 3 hours of sleep and going for Hyrox, you may end up with a heart attack, my friend. So I'm saying you fix the foundational steps before you even go into that. The same way the CGMs, I'm saying you fix your eating lifestyle, take proportioned food, and then you stop eating before 3 hours, Try intermittent fasting for 12 to 15 hours before you even think of these things. See, it is easy for us to spend something on Amazon. We all have quick commerce, right? No, so we want it immediately. We want everything to be immediate. That is our problem. That is what I say with these things. There are a couple of biohacks like ice baths and red light therapy that are proven to be beneficial.
Oh, they work.
They work. But again, I say it with a caveat because everybody who is not fixing their sleep or their movement or their metabolism would immediately go to a red bath place or a sauna or take ice cryogenic baths. Go to the top after you fix the foundation. Otherwise, it doesn't work. That is what I would say. Fix the foundation and then you can look at the middle tier, then look at the top tier.
This brings me to a new game that we are introducing on the show. It's Doctor versus Internet.
All right.
And I want you to talk to me a little bit about what works and what does not work from a longevity lens. Okay? So, Internet says GLP-1 drugs are the new longevity hack. What does the doctor say?
I think it is a useful thing for people who cannot lose weight. Otherwise, it is a boon for them, but not for regular people.
Okay. Internet says ice baths reverse aging. What does the doctor say?
Ice baths can help in improving your longevity, but they don't magically reverse aging until you get your foundations right.
Okay. Internet says red light therapy repairs skin at a cellular level. Doctor?
True. But again, the caveats. Get the foundation right before you look at the apex.
Okay. Internet says HBOT. Hyperbaric oxygen slows aging. Doctor?
Forget it. It doesn't work.
Internet says sauna habits adds years to your life. Doctor?
So cold baths and sauna, both of them are something called as hormesis, where you stress your body to a level where it can give you some benefits. Both of them can work in people, but they won't work if your foundations are not right.
What kind of people do they work in?
They work in people for whom already the sleep is perfect, for whom they are already getting enough movement. They work in people in whom already the foundational blocks of the stress is managed. So, and if we get the foundational blocks right, then we can aim at these things.
5 foundation blocks being?
Stress management, sleep, movement, managing your metabolism, and then your muscle, building muscle.
Okay. Another one. Internet says NMN and NAD plus boosters slow aging.
No.
Okay. That was an emphatic no. Internet says collagen powders reverse skin aging.
Caveat. Few studies show that they may have a marginal impact. How marginal? Over your collagen creams, we need more studies. Maybe collagen creams are better or equal to that of collagen supplements. So they may have a marginal effect. That's what recent studies say.
Okay, so take it or no?
Take it.
Okay. Internet says that vegetarians are automatically less inflamed.
Wrong. Because most vegetarians have vitamin B12 deficiency and their homocysteine spikes. Because homocysteine is a potent inflammatory mediator. So you become sattvic and eat only vegan food doesn't mean your body is not inflamed. So you have a vegetarian diet, and if your B12 levels are low, if your homocysteine has spiked, it is a potent inflammatory mediator. If you're a vegetarian, always make sure you check your B12 levels and your homocysteine levels, because homocysteine can cause heart attacks in vegetarians.
Good Lord, I didn't know that. Okay. Internet says keto is the best diet for longevity.
Wrong.
What is the best diet for longevity?
Intermittent fasting is the only diet that has a certain level of evidence behind it for improving your longevity, lifespan and health span.
Not for diabetics, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Internet says 8 hours of sleep is non-negotiable.
Agree.
Finally, something that Internet and doctor agrees upon. Internet says seed oils are the reason Indians are unhealthy.
One of the reasons.
Internet says cold plunges boost metabolism.
Partly. So rather than boosting metabolism, they put you in that uncomfortable level where your body starts repairing on its own. It's called the hormesis curve, where these hot baths and the sauna baths and the cold plunges is basically making your body uncomfortable enough so that some repair work can start happening. It's a very simple way of looking at it. So can do, but get your foundations right before doing that.
Rohan Bopanna told me in an interview that one of the reasons why he's able to win a Wimbledon in his 40s is because he does.
So probably he's got all the foundational blocks right.
Yeah.
So if we do that, and they actually help.
Okay. Internet says you can reverse your biological age.
True.
How?
By following the foundational blocks again.
This doctor is not giving me a pill. He is not giving me a hack. He's telling me to do the boring stuff. I like him.
If I tell you two things for all Indians, right, to reverse your aging, two things. Get enough sleep. Move from your chairs. Avoid the sedentariness and get enough sleep. Just two things.
Yeah.
Those things can reverse your aging.
Yeah, but what about uncles who go for morning walks and then have bun maska after that?
Forget the bun maska. Walking in itself is not a very optimal exercise. You would see a lot of the walkers, they have walker's belly, right? Patle honge, unka pet to itna bada rahega because they have lost muscle. So testosterone gradually goes down in men and in women it crashes after menopause. Both of these are very important for your skeletal muscle. As soon as you lose your skeletal muscle, your metabolism goes down. So, ab kam khao, zyada movement bhi karo. So, if you don't have enough muscle, your metabolism has crashed. Metabolism has crashed, meaning then every excess calorie that is going in, which your body is not burning up, is going to go into your visceral fat. So, walking is not the greatest form of cardio. The greatest form of cardio for longevity purposes is still racket sports. Because it has a HIIT component to it. It also has a community component to it. That is where I would put it.
Yeah, it also has a no phone component to it.
Yes,
You
no phone
can't,
component.
You can't play racket sport with the phone.
Absolutely.
Walk you can do.
You can do.
Yeah. Treadmill also you can do.
Yeah,
People keep watching.
Correct.
Yeah.
But walking is excellent for you to slip out of your sedentariness. हर एक meal के बाद आपको if you can just get out and walk. So the CEOs who come to me also, I tell them, if you get a phone call, take it while walking around your office. That gets your mandatory 7,000 or 8,000 steps. Otherwise, you're just glued to the chair. Like I told you, chair shouldn't become your graveyard.
Okay. There is a lot of chatter on supplements. And there are two kinds of people. People who are obsessed with it and others who don't think any of it. Could you give me your understanding of what supplements are, say, hero supplements that every Indian needs? And what are some of those which can be trashed?
Supplements can be divided into three categories. A is the ones that absolutely work on you if you have a deficiency. B is the ones that work on some people, may not work for most of the people. So we'll put it at mass aminos 50-50. The third category of supplements is the one, uske paas hi mat jao, it can kill you sort of supplements.
Okay.
Let's start from the third category. Your detox teas, the fat burners, and the so-called ones which have a lot of stuff that can spike your heart rate, that can damage your liver. During COVID, a lot of patients started taking these herbal supplements because they thought it'll avoid COVID and then ended up with liver transplants because the liver got knocked off.
Yeah.
We had a name for it. We called it drug-induced liver injury or DILI.
Yeah.
तो ऐसा होता है कि कुछ supplements से बहुत दूर रहना चाहिए उनके पास ही मत जाना है. That is the category 3 supplements.
Any popular ones that people are popping these days?
In category 3?
Yeah.
Fat burners. Fat burners are the number one cause of arrhythmia, sudden cardiac death, because they are overloaded with caffeine and a lot of other herbs which erratically spike your heart rate.
Yeah.
Because the caffeine is supposed to boost up your metabolism so that you burn your fat. But people don't understand while they're burning their fat, they're also killing their heart.
Stressing their heart.
So the fat burners is the number one category in people
of
should
no-go.
stay away from. No-go.
Okay.
Strict
then,
no-go.
Second one.
The in-between category are those supplements that can work in few people, like magnesium, like creatine. Creatine also I'll put in category 2. I will tell you why. Because if you're regularly working out beyond a certain age, it's got a really good volume of evidence behind it, which means most people can take it. But I would say that a lot of people are trying to actually, it doesn't cause any harm. So category 2 supplements don't cause harm. The category 3 supplements can cause harm, can kill. Category 2 supplements can work well in certain people, like women, people who want to build muscle from scratch, or people are beyond a certain age where they want to increase the repair rate of their muscles. So those
For women, for brain fog.
Yeah, so that also it works. So it works in certain people.
Okay.
All right. So there are an omega. Those are all in the middle category where it works for some people and it doesn't cause harm.
Okay.
So magnesium also falls in that category. Category 1 are supplements.
Why do you say magnesium falls in that category? I thought it works for everybody.
So still the gold standard for sleep abnormalities, when you see a sleep medicine doctor, is they would initially say all of those things that I told you. Avoid caffeine, avoid a late meal, and then blue light reduction, and then
cold room,
circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Subah सूरज को देखना है, रात को तो so all of that. Right?
Regular routine.
Beyond that, the gold standard is a cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT is what it is called for sleep. Many people don't even go to a sleep medicine. They just buy magnesium off the and pop it on.
Yeah.
So which is why the pathway of care for sleep deprivation goes in this pattern. And melatonin is a strict no-go, at least not on your own, unless I would say magnesium and melatonin both, I would say to people out there, only take it if your sleep medicine doctor decides that it is the right thing for you. Because most of you can do without it as well. You need...
People are popping melatonin left, right and center. It's like a candy these days.
I would say shouldn't go there. Because it also falls in the second category. But it can mess up a lot of your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Because melatonin is the biological clock.
Yeah.
You can't go and tinker around with it. And it should not be something... supplement industry is also quite unregulated because it's neither here nor there, and
also falls under FSSAI. Yeah,
exactly. Influencers keep promoting that for some reason or the other, and people easily can buy and pop it.
Okay,
I think there should come some regulation should come wherein like the supplement should
much
be
needed.
Regulated.
Much needed. Should come under pharma maybe. Correct. Yeah, you'll get a quality check and you'll also have that. Okay, but first category.
The first category is which is quite useful to a number of people. Majority of these people benefit from these supplements, and they are boring because I'm talking about iron folic acid supplements for pregnant women. I'm talking about B12 supplementation for vegetarians. I'm talking about vitamin D supplementation for the large percentage of Indians who are extremely deficient in vitamin D. Boring होते हैं, मगर ज़रूरी होते हैं. So that is the number one supplement because these are proven to work.
B12 for vegetarians is, you're saying, gold standard. One has to do. Should one look for something in the label if they're buying B12?
So I would say B12 deficiency, first check for your B12 levels and homocysteine levels if you're vegetarian. If you're deficient, again, consult your doctor. They will prescribe the right dose. And unlike the omega-3s, B12 supplementations, we don't have a problem. We get some good brands, and because it is also by prescription by the doctor,
it's medical grade.
We don't have any problems there.
Yeah. Vitamin D, you say take.
Yes.
A very famous doctor, liver doctor, was on this podcast saying vitamin D is the haldi.
Yes.
A lot of doctors have not agreed with him.
So,
what's your reason?
From the longevity perspective. So, there are two ways of looking at vitamin D. So, whether it can take care of something really acute. Like we talked about omega-3, right? So, omega-3 from an inflammation perspective or an aging perspective makes sense. Omega-3 from a pure cholesterol lowering perspective or a triglyceride lowering perspective, you may need a concentrated EPA supplement, which is not the same medical grade, which is not the same as the additive that we are getting. So, doctors look at it in two ways. One is this proven to fix an acute problem? The second part of it is what I look at. Is this not looking at it as whether it fixes heart attacks or whether it cures diabetes, whether it reduces inflammation, whether which is proven to reduce the rate of aging or inflammation in people. So vitamin D, if I look at it, it is not a surefire way. You can't say vitamin D, if you supplement, people are going to have less heart attacks. But there are studies which say if you supplement vitamin D, your endothelial function is going to be better. which means your inflammatory markers are going to be better. So which is why I would say vitamin D still has a solid body of evidence behind it from this perspective.
Which brings me to the last segment here. I want you to talk to me about preventive screening.
Right.
One of the biggest longevity things are that what kind of screening can you do, again, in your 30s and your 40s, so that your 80s and what you're saying 90s could be actually better and not, not very dependent on other people or medicines for that matter.
Right.
What are your, again, top 3 layers in which you should look at screening?
Right. I would say people in the 30s, people in the 40s, and people in the 50s and 60s, for each decade, the tests that they have to take slightly vary or they add on. Okay. If you're younger, like I told you, fasting insulin along with your liver function tests, renal function tests, and then the basic complete blood count and HbA1c, they sort of give the picture.
When you say younger, you mean 20s or you mean 30s? 30s.
Yes.
30s is young?
30s is young, definitely.
Okay.
40s is young now.
40s? Okay.
So as in women particularly, when you cross the age of 30, you should look at cervical cancer screening. Because that is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in women and is entirely preventable. ऐसा हुआ कि it has not become a part of our immunization protocol from time immemorial. Now, only now the government is looking at it. It has still not become widespread, which means many women, even after marriage, they are entirely unaware that a HPV vaccine exists, or it can be taken, or it can bring down their chance of getting cervical cancer. So, HPV vaccination is a must. Pap smears are a must. You should regularly take pap smears to see if there's any early pre-cancer changes in the cervix.
When you say regularly, you mean annually?
Annually is good enough for your pap
like a
smears.
birthday protocol.
Exactly. That is what I say. Because for us, it has to be a ritual. We buy new clothes on birthdays. We treat ourselves to a vacation. But unless it's a ritual, we will not do it. So all I'm saying is, every birthday month, let it be the best gift that you can give to yourself. Not a new phone, but an entire spanking new preventative health check in the best place that you can go to.
Okay, so 30s you've said is done. So 40s, what do you do?
So mammograms are a must for women again.
So whatever you did in your 30s, that plus a mammogram.
Exactly. So mammograms and mammograms again to detect. That's an X-ray mammogram that comes after 40. Before 40 is a sonomammogram, where we don't subject you to X-rays but to ultrasound. Okay. So after 40, that becomes an X-ray mammogram. Again, it has to be done regularly. Once we find some abnormality, it's easier to fix.
Okay.
And then colon cancer screening starts coming after the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And in men, prostate cancer screening starts after the 50s and 60s, wherein you have to check prostate-specific antigen or PSAs. Beyond that, when it comes to longevity perspective, there are a number of tests that have come. Like grip strength is one of that. And there are these special labs that have come that measure your VO2 max that actually score you on your fall prevention. There is a test called as the sit-rise test. आपको नीचे बस बैठना है और उठना है
without using your hands
or the sides of the leg. So Brazilian researchers found that if you can do a sit-rise test, your lifespan and healthspan are going to be really good. Most of us fail the test because A, we have muscle weakness, or B, we don't have the flexibility.
Yeah.
So that is the one. And so there are these longevity tests that we can do as well.
Yeah.
And cognition. Because most of the time we fail to understand that cognition is also a very important part of aging, which we lose. We are more concerned about losing muscle. And we say lift dumbbells, but what if we forget why we are lifting those dumbbells for? That is what happens to people as they age, because the brain becomes slow.
Yeah.
So the tests, there are a number of tests that are there. I've also prescribed a couple of websites in the book where people can go and take those tests to see.
We'll put them in the chapters.
Fantastic. How well they are performing as compared to peers of their age. How good is their cognition? So is it perfect? Or what we call as mild cognitive impairment, or is it to the point where we call it dementia? So, बीच में जो होता है mild cognitive impairment, that is recoverable, whereby you can still, recover by acquiring new skills or doing certain things.
In fact, in the book you've written this, it's called Retirement is the fastest way to age.
Yes.
Because if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, which brings me to the last segment. This entire book can be put in a nutshell by the 21 rules that you've listed for long life. Can you just state that? I think the fundamentals through this podcast you've understood. If we were to make this checklist of 21, what would that be?
So I made the chapter primarily for people who skip to the last, which is me, of course, because I read every single paper from the last page.
You want to read it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely.
Huh.
So rule number 1 is walk. We need to do 8,000 steps a day, and which is why after every meal, if we can walk, we'll get very close to those 8,000 steps. And also lowers the glucose, because once you activate the muscles, then the sugar spikes go down. When the sugar spikes go down, the insulin spike also goes down. Lift weights. There are many ways of resistance training. Some people use bands, some people use weights. Some people can even do body weight exercises, which is called calisthenics. Kuch na to karna hai, because we need to build the muscle, because muscle is our insurance against aging. Third is eat protein. Indians have diets which are extremely protein deficient. We didn't touch on that. Maybe we should go into that.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure every single meal is proportioned. ऐसा नहीं है कि घर का खाना अच्छा है, स्वस्थ है. So it is good in a way because it is unprocessed, but we need to also structure it so that the protein is more. And we need to follow a particular sequence when eating, which is VPC. Veggies first, protein second, carbs third. Even if you go to a buffet, if you eat the veggies first, it forms a nice mesh which sieves the protein and the carbohydrate that goes in after that, which means the sugar spike is going to be
we've
less.
done a full podcast on this, So
respect the sunset. So 7 baje, khana khatam, or 10 baje in your bed. That is respect the sunset.
Basically, no social life.
No, I don't know. That's a different podcast altogether. Sleep is a non-negotiable. We do tend to sleep shorter as we age. Maybe 8 hours is something that 35-year-olds should look at. 7 hours is what 55-year-olds should look at.
It reduces.
It reduces as we age.
Oh, is it?
It reduces as we age. So 8 hours for a 35-year-old, we can apply the same rule to somebody in their 60s or 70s. But we should sort of understand that it goes down by an hour or so every 2 decades, and try to hit that. Sugar is a recreational drug. Most of the problems that we have is because of these colas and fructose-laden syrups. Everywhere we find sweeteners, and even in kids and
hidden sugar.
Exactly. So even sauce, I call sauce as liquid jam in one of my chapters because it's got the same amount of sugar that jam has. But we wouldn't think of sauce as jam. So try to cut down the refined sugar intake as much as possible. If you're really sweet tooth like me, try to have a banana after a meal or chew on some dates. That works very well.
Sugar is recreational drug.
Avoid the social poisons, which is smoking and alcohol. Then try to do the oil change. Seed oils, hatao, or bring in.
We've spoken about that.
Hydrate. 2 to 3 liters of water every day. And the best way you can get there is by starting your day with 500 ml. So
starting your day with 500 ml? How does that work?
Get up. And if you drink 500 ml immediately, that becomes a ritual. So even if you are skimping on water intake,
but I thought drinking too much water at one go will just get it out of your body.
Not really. So when you wake up, you're already you haven't had water for 8 to 10 hours.
Oh, because you're parched.
Yes. Start with 500 ml. That also contributes to the 2 to 3 liters of your count in a day.
Got it.
Get some sun as much as possible. Sunlight is great for vitamin D. Sunlight is free. But we bother
only
too much.
Only if AQI lets it penetrate.
Yeah, we bother too much about our skin and we don't get out enough, is what I feel. I have known people who prefer to run indoors and not on the beach, who prefer to stay indoors. I think we should probably get the sun because sun is the greatest thing that we have. Sit on the floor. Even if you're watching TV, sit cross-legged on the floor. Improves the mobility. Floss every day because the bacteria that have been found in diseased gums are also the very same bacteria that are found in plaque buildup in diseased coronary arteries.
Explain that.
It goes there. So the bacteria that causes gingivitis or periodontitis or the gum problems that we have, they have an indirect association with inflammation. They get into the bloodstream. They are also the same bacteria that have been found in the plaque buildup that we have in the coronary arteries that are diseased.
It's going from your mouth to your heart?
Yes, it goes into the bloodstream and it ends up there and it causes the plaque or aggravates the plaque. There is an association between the both. So the better your oral health, the better your heart health.
That is why gum bleeding is seen as a sign.
Yes, that is a sign of infection as well. Detox your environment in that you throw away the non-stick pan and stop heating food in plastic containers. Stop living in Delhi. I can't say that right because the AQI is pretty bad here. But yeah, you got to have good air purifiers at workplace or at home. Be a learning machine. Retirement is the fastest way to age because never stop using your brain. Learn a new language, play a new game, find a new date. I don't know. Solve a new date. Solve a new problem. That works. See, what if you're single? I say in one of the chapters, uncles die earlier than aunties if you're single because men are not meant to be single. We don't have too many social buttresses that can keep us. So we are too much over-reliant on our spouses. So yeah.
So maybe Dadi ki shadi actually works.
It actually works. Yeah. Maybe it gives them a new purpose in life. You never know. 16 is pick up a racket because that's the best cardio exercise I have as a prescription. It could be any of that. Have a 3 a.m. friend. You shouldn't get up at 3 a.m. but if you do, God forbid for some emergency.
Have someone to call.
Exactly. Manage your stress actively and mindfully because stress to hamesha rahega hi. We need to find ways to deal with stress. Ditch the comparisons and the comparative anxiety, comparative misery we have to leave, and then we try to synthesize our own happiness by being satisficers. Whatever we have is the best. This day is the best day, kind of thing. And the birthday protocol, we talked about it. Every year, get a blood test done. Yeah. Which will tell you all the parameters that you have to do at your decade. And that will give you the exact place where you stand. And you can work on that. Yeah. Next is consistency is greater than intensity. This is true for the people who suddenly wake up and then go jogging. I want to run marathon in a month. Or I want to do high rocks in a month so that I can put cute Instagram reels. Doesn't work that way. It is a journey. And every part of the journey, it has to become a ritual. Yeah. Like we don't think twice before waking up and brushing. Similarly, we should not think twice before heading out to play twice a week or lifting weights twice a week. It has to become a ritual. Then it becomes a part of us and it ceases to be a chore. It becomes something that we do enjoyably. And that is what is going to make us live till 100.
Happily till 100.
Happily till 100.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, so this is Take It or Trash It, Longevity Edition. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Creatine monohydrate.
Take it.
Vitamin D.
Take it.
Omega-3.
Take it.
Magnesium.
Trash it.
Probiotics, and this includes stuff like Darolac, Enterogermina, all of those.
Take it episodically whenever you have. You don't need it every day.
Don't need it every day. Okay. Now, this is one very famous with longevity experts. NMN, NR, and NAD+.
Trash all of it.
Are you serious?
Absolutely serious.
There are like Instagram channels which only talk about their NAD+ routines.
Yes. I think I'm being very clear here when I say we don't have enough body of evidence to say it reverses longevity in a large number of people.
Okay. This one is interesting. Resveratrol. Am I saying that right?
Resveratrol.
Yeah.
Trash it.
Spermidine.
Trash it.
Okay. Berberine.
Trash it.
What was that long pause for?
It can work in some people, but metformin works better.
Metformin works better for longevity.
Yes.
Do explain.
Yeah, for people with PCOS, and it reduces your insulin resistance, basically. It makes the cells more receptive. So there are a lot of there's a significant body of evidence that is emerging that says the cheapest longevity drug that people can take is metformin. Again, on a doctor's advice. It's not just reserved for diabetics. Is what they're saying. So it's better than berberine. Berberine is nature's metformin with a lot more side effects. So I always tell people, 50% of allopathic drugs are from nature. So this is nature 2.0. Sabse better hai, best hai, behtareen hai, and without the side effects.
Brilliant Hindi, 10 on 10 for that, okay? Okay, next one. Myo-inositol?
Trash it.
Coenzyme Q10.
Yeah, take it.
Okay. Protein powder.
Take it.
Ashwagandha.
Trash it.
Multivitamin or B complex.
Expensive urine, trash it.
Okay. Curcumin.
May work in few people, but no clear evidence to say it actually reverses. It can help in people who are inflamed to an extent.
Okay. Psyllium husk.
Some days, but not every day.
Okay.
Collagen. No harm though.
Okay. Collagen powder.
May mildly help your skin.
Okay.
Not help with your longevity.
Okay. Melatonin.
Trash it.
And the last one. GLP-1 weight loss drugs. Do they make you live longer?
They help obese people live longer because otherwise they would have died of the visceral fat and overweight and all the NCD complications that brings. If they cannot lose weight by conventional means, they are a boon to those people because they are going to live 20 or 25 years longer, which they would not have if these things are not there. So GLP drugs work very well for them. Only problem is that muscle mass is disproportionate to the weight loss. So these people who have to make an extra effort to build the muscle. The problem with them is पहले भी उन लोग chair में ही बैठे थे. Now you suddenly give them GLP drug and they find that they're losing weight. They are going to be even less inclined to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So the problem that doctors have is when we give the GLP drugs, we need to tell them you need to hit the gym every single day.
Yeah. Okay, that brings me to the end of this podcast. It's been very nice. Like I said in the beginning, Dr. Navin, this is a playbook. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep referring to this for lots of stuff because it's covered a lot of basics that I think the doctors do not have the time to explain. True. And honestly, a lot of them don't even know because I don't think this is something that is taught in medicine. That's true. So why don't you leave us with your longevity routine? Why don't you give us quick tips on what is it that you do?
Okay.
And how long do you think you're going to live? Let's make a prediction.
So, going by the national averages, I think I'm going to live up to 90.
Okay.
That could change the next decade. It could get extended to 100 as well. We don't know. The national average is that. By the time we are 60 or 70, the life expectancy is going to be easily 90. What I do is I do intermittent fasting.
How many hours?
Sometimes it's 16 hours as well. Sometimes it's 17 hours as well.
Okay.
I stop eating by 7. I try to hit the bed by 10, but it's not always possible. Sometimes it goes up to 11. But yellow light in the room, cold environment. Most important thing is no caffeine after.
Yeah. And your next meal in the morning is?
11:30. 7 to 11:30.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I play racket sports and then I work out twice a week with resistance with gym. So recent studies say that even 2 days of resistance training is good enough.
Good enough.
So 2 days of resistance training where you get about 60 minutes or 120 minutes, that is good enough. And the cardio, target about 120 minutes a week, which is probably 2 or 3 playing sessions. If you're having fun, do more.
Yeah.
But
what about your protein powder?
I don't take protein powder because I make sure that I get my protein from my meal. Every single meal, I try to visualize the meal. So उसमें protein है.
Around the protein. So what are you having for breakfast?
So I have a 3-egg omelette.
Okay.
I start with that.
All whole eggs? No.
All whole eggs.
Okay. 3 eggs in the morning. Okay.
So afternoons is a bit of a challenge because the veggies are there in the afternoon, but then the protein isn't there. So what I do is I have protein-rich yogurt, which I use for my curd rice, which has got a higher percentage of protein, or paneer or all those things. And in the evening again, I consciously try to make sure that some protein source is there from the house. If it's tofu, tempeh, or chicken, or egg, kuch to rahega.
So you are also doing 1 gram of protein your body weight?
Yes.
Okay.
So I try to get about 60 to 70 or more than that actually. Because I weigh 90.
Yeah.
So I try to get about 90. But I may fall short here and there. But it's okay. I don't obsess over it.
Yeah.
I just make sure in my mind, if I look at my plate, usme quarter, half rule honi chahiye. Half is veggies, quarter is protein, quarter is carb.
Okay.
So if you can visualize a plate as a pie chart, every plate, and imagine, isme to quarter is protein,
Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
is carb, half
Yeah.
is veggies.
Yeah.
And I try to sequence it. Try to eat veggies, then protein, then carb. Not always possible.
Yeah.
Whenever
But largely,
possible.
good to
Whenever
have that
possible.
knowledge.
Whenever possible.
Nothing else you're doing. What have you not written in the book?
I stay happy. I don't nurse grudges. So I think that is a key thing. So if we think about what went wrong 2 years before and keep worrying about, I live that day.
You forgive easy?
So I forgive easy. मुझे याद ही नहीं है. So if I don't remember something wrong that's been done, then you don't have to fret about it or worry about it or keep a revenge scorecard in your brain.
Yeah.
Live that day. Live happily.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. अभी भी बहुत सारे सवाल हैं, but I think that's all the time we've got. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing all those insights. And there you go. The first longevity blueprint for India. Let's see how long we all live. See you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
No, start with him. How old do you think he is?
Late 20s. Early 20s?
Early 20s and late 20s.
Late 20s is what I
Bolo?
think.
25.
ठीक है? 28. So not too bad.
Really getting it. I'm not asking him my age. How old do you think she is?
No, I don't. Late 30s?
He changed his answer.
Yeah! This is take 2, by the way. We missed recording the first one. Okay, our handsome cameraman.
Well, I think, I suppose he is, again, late 20s, but aging better than him.
Just because he has muscles.
Which is true.
Give me your age.
24.
Okay. I got that a bit wrong.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Okay. I would put it at late 30s.
And he's right.